when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to effect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new gods for their future security.
Thank you, Judge Thomas. I'm Leslie Green Bowman. I'm president of the Thomas Jefferson Foundation. Thomas Jefferson was only 33 years old when he wrote those immortal words, now among the most famous in the English language. In all of the Continental Congress, John Adams observed that he never heard the young Virginian utter more than 3 sentences. But with the power of his pen, Jefferson articulated a vision for an America that would change the course of history. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. That was a radical statement in 1776, and I dare say not at all self-evident. Never before had a nation been born out of ideas rather than force or ethnicity. Think about that. In a merely revolutionary document, Jefferson embedded timeless principles of liberty, equality, and self-government. And he envisioned those principles for people everywhere, not only for the American colonists. In 1795, he wrote, "This ball of liberty is now so well in motion that it will roll around the globe." And today, more than half the world's countries trace their independence to founding documents inspired in part by Jefferson's words. And after all, let's not forget it was Jefferson who scratched out the word subjects in an early draft of the Declaration and made us all citizens, endowed with certain inalienable rights and responsibilities. In a speech this past April, on Jefferson's birthday, longtime Congressman and civil rights leader John Lewis said, and I quote, "We return to this place to be reminded of what happened and how it happened in the struggle for human dignity in America." This morning, our newest citizens become part of a story that dates back to 1776. And together, we all renew our commitment to the founding principles, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. On behalf of the trustees and staff, and in cooperation with the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Virginia, let me officially welcome all of you, everyone, to the 53rd Annual Monticello Independence Day celebration. And a special hello to the thousands watching online from around the world. This morning, we are very fortunate to have with us the 72nd Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe. Governor McAuliffe is joined by his wife, Dorothy, the First Lady of Virginia. And we are also pleased to welcome and recognize John Harvey Jr., our Secretary of Veterans Affairs and Homeland Security, and his wife, Mary Ellen. Well, Governor McAuliffe joins a venerated list of Virginia governors who have celebrated Independence Day on this mountaintop. And that list begins, of course, with Mr. Jefferson, who served as the Commonwealth's second governor. Not since Jefferson himself have we had a governor so enthusiastic about extolling Virginia's virtues to a global audience. Governor McAuliffe has traveled the world, tirelessly advocating for the Commonwealth and for our economy. He's committed to bringing jobs and investment dollars home to Virginia. The governor and his wife, Dorothy, have been frequent visitors to Monticello over the years, and it's evident that they share our pride for this place and its architect. Just last month, Governor McAuliffe arranged for a group of 50 foreign ambassadors to visit the mountaintop as a way of showcasing the best of Virginia's culture and history. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a special friend of Monticello and the Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Oh, you can do better than that. Good morning. Good morning. Is it not great to be in the United States of America? And to our soon-to-be Americans, welcome to this very special day. I first would like to thank the board of the Thomas Jefferson Foundation and specifically our president, Leslie Green Bowman, for giving me this opportunity for being with you today. It's an honor to be here also with Judge Thomas, probably the greatest jurist ever to actually put robes on. I thank you, Judge, for give the judge a great round of applause. As I say, the First Lady and Secretary Harvey, we're also represented by the legislative branch today. Our great delegate from Charlottesville, David Toscano, is here with us today. I thank you, David. And let's just not forget one of the greatest Americans of all time. Let's hear it. General President George Washington is with us here today, folks. I tell you, he's aged very well, hadn't he? But I do want to especially thank the nearly 80 soon-to-be Americans who are here with us today for this very special occasion. Today, you will take the oath of citizenship and become a member of the greatest country in the entire world. We are a nation of individual liberty, and we've done it by fighting hard through many, many years. Let me say first, happy July 4th to everyone here today. It is that spirit of July 4th, our bold spirit, has made our nation grow stronger and brighter, illuminating the hopes and dreams of freedom lovers in every corner of our world. From Yorktown to the beaches of Normandy, to the fall of the Berlin Wall, from Korea to Iraq, America has been there to fight for freedom. What I'd like to do now is have all of us remember those members of active duty military who right this very moment have that uniform on of our great country and are somewhere around the globe protecting freedoms for all of us. I also would like to thank all the veterans, all the law enforcement personnel who make us the greatest country that we are. So if we could give all those folks a great round of applause and say thank you for what they do. It is fitting that each year we gather here at Monticello to celebrate with men, women, and children who've come from around the globe to become citizens of the United States of America. A visitor to Monticello once observed that Jefferson, quote, placed his mind, like his house, on a lofty height whence he might contemplate the whole universe. And he loved to invite the entire universe to Monticello, have dinner, a glass of wine, or two, or three, and stay for a long visit. Monticello was not only a guest house for the world, but a permanent home for hundreds of works of art and books that shaped this unique man. If Monticello was a reflection of the man, his library provided a glimpse into a mind that was both superhuman and contradictory. Jefferson bought books at considerable expense, actually putting him heavily into debt. But for him, it was worth it. He would send crates of them back from Paris, London, and Amsterdam, send them all here to Monticello, as well as to his friends like Benjamin Franklin and James Monroe. He even managed to secure the writings of the French philosopher Voltaire, who, as you know, was banned for religious blasphemy and political sedition. There is no need to ask why Jefferson was willing to tangle with the French authorities and censors to get his hands on that book. The influence of French freedom lovers is woven deep into Jefferson's words in the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom and the Declaration of Independence. Quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Voltaire made the same point with his usual pizzazz. He wrote, quote, "God is not on the side of the big battalions, but of the best shots." America, in fact, is a nation of best shots. It is, folks, our birthright. That was literally true as demonstrated by Virginian Daniel Morgan and his sharpshooters, who were so feared by the British during the American Revolution. But today I'm speaking in a much broader sense. We are a nation of superlatives. The smartest, the most courageous, and the fiercest risk takers. The earliest settlers didn't risk their lives to come to the New World, hoping that happiness would rain down on them from heaven. They came here to pursue happiness, to hunt it down and seize the endless opportunities that eventually stretched from the Atlantic to the Pacific. It is no coincidence that the frontier was opened by Jefferson's Louisiana Purchase. He was, of course, the quintessential sharpshooter in every imaginable subject that attracted his interest. As you know, he was the governor of Virginia, and he was president of the United States. But he was also an architect, astronomer, philosopher, jurist, wine expert, farmer, agriculture researcher, scientist, inventor, educator, and linguist. And as I walk across every day the Capitol Square in Richmond, it's amazing to think that Jefferson, George Washington, James Madison, Patrick Henry, and so many other larger-than-life Virginians were all contemporaries. And to all of you new citizens, it is appropriate that you're getting your citizenship here in Virginia. Because let me be clear, Virginia is the greatest state in the United States of America. You could be at one of those other 49 states, but it's not where the British sent those first 3 ships in 1607. The first stock trading company, they came to Jamestown and moved up to Williamsburg. The history that we have in Virginia, it is where in Virginia that the American Revolution ended, at that famous battle in Yorktown with our great general and Marquis de Lafayette from France, who came over to help us. It is in Virginia where the Civil War ended, the Appomattox Courthouse. Those great debates that happened in Virginia is what shaped this great nation. It's a little comforting to know, folks, that guess what? They didn't always get along, but they always managed to work things out. Today, sometimes in politics, it seems like our country is losing its edge because too often we end up in circular firing squads rather than working together to solve the challenges that we face as a nation. I have said from day one as governor, compromise is not a bad word. You have to give and take to get things done. No one is always right. But folks, we've been there before, and we've always managed to steady our aim and move forward again. Why? The reason is we continue to receive fresh battalions of sharpshooters. You are the newest battalion to arrive here in America. You 80 here are the overachievers from around the globe. You came here because you wanted to live in an entire nation of overachievers. Many of you, as I walked through earlier, to have pictures taken with you, thanked me. Let me say, as governor of this great Commonwealth, thank you. Thank you for wanting to become part of our nation. Thank you for bringing your ideas, your enthusiasm, and your momentum. Immigrants are important. They built our nation. Thomas Jefferson himself was the son of an immigrant. But I don't think he could even have fully realized how important future immigrants would be to keeping the America dream in focus. More than any other place on the globe, the United States would not exist if it were not for the contributions, both large and small, of immigrants who came to these shores and made their own unique mark on our way of life. Many of us trace our histories back to brave men and women who risked everything to realize that dream. I think of Bartholomew McAuliffe, who left Ireland in the 1800s to try and find a better life for his family. I'm not sure even Bartholomew would have thought that 3 generations later, his great-grandson would be the governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Only in America, folks, could this happen. So I thank all of you for believing enough in our great nation to put in the time and effort to become citizens. Each of you has worked hard to be where you are today, to be sitting in those chairs. You all went through a process that was much more rigorous than any of us had to do who were born in this nation. You are here to achieve great success for yourselves and your families. But you also have a responsibility to work together to build a better nation. We need your skills, we need your energy, your innovative spirit, and your faith in the ideals that Thomas Jefferson so eloquently asserted. Now, I've got some marching orders for you, so look sharp out there. We need you to work to build a new economy here in Virginia and across the nation. I'm excited that many of you are already doing your part. I talked to Zaid from Iraq, who's planning on getting a degree in business management. Brian from Canada has already started his own company. And his wife, Deborah, is teaching the next generation of business leaders right here at the University of Virginia. We need you to be advocates for education, not just for your children, but for all children. We need you to be advocates for access to health care. And I understand that one of our new citizens today is actually a dentist from Panama. Tatiana, I hope. Let's hear it for Tatiana. Where's Tatiana? Stand up, Tatiana. We have a thing called the Remote Medical Access Clinic in Wise County every year where people come down, doctors and dentists, to come down and help. I need you there. We're always in need of more dentists. Finally, all of you, we need you to reignite a spirit of public engagement in our political system. This is at the core of what it means to be a new citizen. The enthusiasm that you have as new Americans is truly inspiring. Habakkuk from Mexico cannot wait to cheer for American athletes in the Olympics, that they are truly now his home team. But of course, far more important than all of that, I was happy to see many of you express excitement at the opportunity to vote, which is the most precious right that you will be granted today. And I'm so happy, Leslie, that we actually have voter registration here for everybody to sign up immediately. I urge you to stay involved in your community, stay informed about what is happening, and raise your voice every chance you get. But most of all, folks, I urge you to go to the polls every single time a poll opens. I was a bit discouraged last year when a vast majority of Americans in the congressional midterm elections stayed home and didn't exercise their right to vote. Let me be clear. People fought and died in this nation to give people the right to vote. You now have that right, and I want to see you vote in every single election going forward. Jefferson believed that all people have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Folks, this is not a passive right. It takes hard work. I know you'll be frustrated at times, but you will also have the satisfaction of having pursued and achieved the happiness that can only exist in a society where all people are free to accomplish their full purpose in life. Now, if I may close by being bold as to put a few words into the mouth of Thomas Jefferson. Welcome to Monticello. Make yourselves at home. This is your home because today you truly are Americans. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor McAuliffe, for those powerful remarks, inspiring all of us to take our citizenship to heart and to get out there and vote and make this country stronger. Now it's my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to the Honorable Glenn E. Conrad, Chief Judge of the United States District Court for the Western District of Virginia, who will preside over the naturalization ceremony. And he's joined by distinguished jurists and colleagues, the Honorable J. Harvey Wilkinson III, the Honorable Elizabeth K. Dillon, the Honorable Joel C. Hoppe, the Honorable Norman K. Moon, the Honorable Rebecca B. Conley, Acting United States Attorney, Mr. Anthony P. Giorno, and Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal, Mr. Brad Sellers. Please welcome Judge Conrad.
All rise. The Honorable Judge E. Conrad, Chief Judge for the United States District Court presiding, along with his distinguished judicial colleagues. Oyez, oyez, oyez. The United States District Court for the Western District of Virginia is now in session and open for the transaction of business. God save these United States and this honorable court. Please be seated and come to order.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the judges, the personnel for the United States District Court for the Western District of Virginia, I add my note of welcome to this naturalization ceremony as well. Ms. Bowman introduced my colleagues and friends who are with me, but I would like to do so again so that you might put a name to a face. Judge Wilkinson is to my immediate right. We'll hear from Judge Wilkinson a little bit later in the ceremony. Judge Dillon, United States Attorney Tony Giorno, in the back, Deputy United States Marshal Brad Sellers. Joel Hoppe is the United States Magistrate Judge in our district, the Western District of Virginia. Judge Norman Moon is a Senior United States District Judge in this district. And Judge Rebecca Connolly is the Chief United States Bankruptcy Judge in the Western District. I'm glad to have all of my colleagues backing me up this morning on this very important day. I also want to give special recognition to Mr. King, Mr. Thomas, and Ms. Bowman, and all of their associates here at Monticello for their hard work and planning in the execution of this very special event. This year's Monticello ceremony will be the 53rd in which our court has participated. It's one of the great traditions of the court. I've been here for 28, and I'll have to say that only in one other year did we have a threat of rain. And on that occasion, we did get some rain, but we merely put the matter off for about 10 minutes. The rain stopped. We continued. So the weather has smiled on this ceremony over the years, and well, it should. It's a most special event. It says here that in addition to this ceremony, the judges of the Western District of Virginia will conduct 39 other naturalization ceremonies throughout the district over the course of 2015. In addition to having the oldest out-of-court naturalization proceeding, we also are the district with the most out-of-court naturalization proceedings, including our first poplar forest ceremony, which was held this year on April 13 in honor of Thomas Jefferson's birthday. Judge Moon presided over that first ceremony at Poplar Forest. Of course, each and every one of these ceremonies is special, it's unique, we enjoy them all. It's one of the things that we look forward to, but I'll have to say that this ceremony at Monticello is truly unique, it's special, it's one of a kind because it's conducted at the home of an extraordinary American patriot. I thank the staff at Monticello and the Thomas Jefferson Foundation for their hospitality and willingness to host this ceremony now for over half a century. But I know that our prospective citizens didn't come to hear me speak. I suspect that you're ready to become new citizens of the United States of America. Is that correct? Are you sure? You don't want to put it off for a couple weeks? You're ready to go. How about your family members and friends? Are you ready for your loved ones to become citizens? Then I would suggest that we proceed. And for that purpose, I want to introduce again Tony Giorno, who's the United States Attorney for the Western District of Virginia, for the introduction of prospective citizens and the making of appropriate motions. Mr. Giorno.
Judge Conrad, thank you, sir. Since everybody is ready, I don't want to dawdle. Welcome again to Monticello. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call your home countries, your country of origin. And as I call each of you, if you would stand, when I call your country, and remain standing until I conclude the reading of the countries. Afghanistan, Algeria, Australia, Belarus, Brazil, Canada, the People's Republic of China, Colombia, Costa Rica, Croatia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Egypt, El Salvador, Ethiopia, France, Ghana, India, Indonesia, Iraq, Italy, Jordan, Kenya, Liberia, Mexico, Morocco, Nepal, the Netherlands, Nigeria, Panama, the Philippines, Romania, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Africa, South Korea, Sri Lanka, the United Kingdom, and Vietnam. Those are all the countries. Now I will invite each of you, all the soon-to-be new citizens of the United States, to please come and take your places here on the West Portico. Apparently, there was another country I forgot to mention. Do we have a citizen from Georgia here? All right. Thank you. Now that all of our citizens are accounted for, it's my pleasure and my privilege to make the motion for admission. Judge Conrad, may it please the court, on behalf of Jay Johnson, the Secretary of Homeland Security, and Leon Rodriguez, Director of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, I am pleased to present to the court the following 78 applicants for naturalization as citizens of these United States. Your Honor, each of these applicants has been found eligible and qualified to become a citizen pursuant to the laws of these United States. I am therefore pleased and privileged to move this honorable court to administer the oath of allegiance and renunciation and to deliver to them their certificates of naturalization.
Thank you, Mr. Giorno. Ladies and gentlemen, I have reviewed your paperwork, all your submissions. It would seem that each and every document is in order. Accordingly, the government's motion is granted, and you will be admitted as citizens of the United States of America. I have asked my newest colleague, Judge Elizabeth K. Dillon, to administer to you the oath of renunciation and allegiance, also known as the oath of citizenship. Judge Dillon.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help me God. Congratulations to our newest United States citizens.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Let me add my congratulations as well to our new citizens. You know, one of the things that I hear frequently in these ceremonies, and we do conduct many, from the new citizens, is that when they're congratulated, when they're welcomed, when the applause is for them, many of the new citizens wish that they could offer that same congratulations and applause to their family members, friends, supporters, loved ones, individuals who have stood behind them and helped them and plan to do so in the future in this process of becoming citizens. So, new citizens, I give you this opportunity now to let you know how these folks who've helped you along the way, how much they mean to you. At this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Bowman and Governor McAuliffe to assist me in the presentation of certificates of citizenship to each of our new citizens. My longtime friend, Mr. Giorno, was able to escape with just listing your countries of origin a moment ago, but this time I'm going to ask him to read each of your names. And when he does so, I'll ask that you come to this smaller podium platform to my left, where I will be honored to present your certificate. At the same time, Governor McAuliffe and Ms. Bowman will have a memento for you of today's ceremony. So, Mr. Giorno, if you would honor me, please.
First, Yuri Urbanovich. Marco Engelbrecht. Fidel Giovanni Tamayo Moreno. Freddy Oswaldo Alas Barrientos. Zoran Grujic. Lalita Priya Swaminathan. Kundo Germain Mazocera. Yakarakundo Nyasafari. Rashid. Okay. Rashid Menfi. Lobilande Asifa Lintiso. Iowan Sabao. Ashok Kumar Nandal Triveda. Michelle Scotto Di Vetta. Francine Marks. Delphina Chi. Adrian Olivier Marie Carre. Gregorio Perez Hernandez. Robert Barron Johnston. James Feely. Christopher Lawrence Pride. Amida Mutawakil. Wei Li. Tatiana Vasilievna Farrow. Vincent Mehdi Idari. Christian David Diaz Rios. Jumana Saeed Khalil Al-Hamad. Satisan Kochichiril Naranaya. Gaisu Yari. Basam Ayad Ashaya. Guan Song. Zaid Jafar Rida. Shinar Sadi. Lien Kim Win. Ignacio Velasquez Molinero. Jacqueline Pabalan Moreno. Deborah Jean Rizzo. Julaine Faye Gray. Angela Yushani Joseph. Ife Q. Dmitry Andreevich Voronin. Oscar Edgardo Baños. Celeste Sherilyn Go. Brian Raymond Rizzo. Zahida Banu. And Judge Conrad, was that young lady Ms. Thomas? All right, then that citizen was Wilhelmina Christie Thomas. Ghazala Ahmad. Enas Mohammad Riyad Abdul Karim. Ahmad Zahadin Ahmad Obidat. Lavinia Backman. Sandra Luz Drone. Elena Amora Robinson. Aramonsel Ellens Egbokan. Dharma Bogubhai Patel. Abacuk Diaz Macias. Ana Demaris Diaz Macias. Avin Kumar Yagi. Laura Hayung Collins. Josephine Gundran Santiago. Grace Ashley Kim. Edwin Adolfo Montanez Nino. Liza Marie Griebenau. Jiang Duan. Julieta Sales Jurado. Carlos Eliseo Cabrera Velasquez. Robin Tova Blue. Oma Devi Neopani. Marie Jean Casinillo McKeithen. Divya Maria Babu. Shirley Philip Babu. Henry Hadriatna Ahmad. Sarah Rosina Hart. Marlon Zoraida Maria Gonzalez Caraballo. Tatiana Alexievna Sokolova. Rondell Rodriguez Moreno. Peter Horst Gray. Sujay Cho. And Jennifer Sanchez.
Was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regaled, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. You can't come to a naturalization ceremony without somewhat of a civics lesson. And I'm going to give you a very short one now. Judge Wilkinson was introduced a moment ago as a member of our court. He is indeed an honorary member of the court for the Western District of Virginia, but his official job is as a judge on the United States Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit. He hears cases, presides in cases from South Carolina, North Carolina, Maryland, West Virginia, in addition to Virginia. He hears a wide variety of matters. I've asked Judge Wilkinson to come today and to offer remarks to our new citizens, their families, and friends on behalf of our court. Judge Wilkinson.
Governor McAuliffe, President Bowman, new citizens, welcome. Such a great honor to join you at this joyous occasion. Celebrate long into the day. Take enormous pride in what you've achieved. But I have some news for you. There's more hard work ahead. Thomas Jefferson drafted the Declaration of Independence 239 years ago. And he knew that the Revolution was not going to be the last trial of America's principles. One early clash came in 1798 when many Americans, especially in the Federalist Society, had grown fearful of foreigners and the world beyond our territory. So Congress and the new President John Adams decided to act on those fears, and they passed a series of laws known as the Alien and Sedition Acts. And some of these laws targeted recent immigrants, many of whom, it so happened, supported the Jeffersonian Republicans. Other measures targeted the speech of citizens and non-citizens alike. A broadly written sedition law outlawed, quote, any false, scandalous, and malicious writing that brought the President or Congress into contempt or disrepute. The point was to suppress domestic political dissent against the Federalist-led government. The language of these laws was sweeping and broad, but not quite sloppy, because some careful drafter made sure not to bar criticism of the Vice President, who was Adams's political rival and the runner-up in the previous presidential election, no other than Thomas Jefferson. What was to be done? Congress and the President were not going to undo these restrictions. The fledgling Supreme Court had never before struck down a federal statute as unconstitutional. How long would it be, Thomas Jefferson wondered, before we would see the reign of witches passed over, their spells dissolve, and the people recovering their true sight restore their government to its two principles? So Jefferson turned to a source of his power, the quill pen and inkwell. He and his fellow Republicans insisted that state governments could enact their own laws to override the Alien and Sedition Acts. Prompted by Jefferson and James Madison, Kentucky and Virginia passed resolutions arguing that each state could independently judge the constitutionality of federal laws. Kentucky and Virginia passed these laws. No other states joined them in support. Jefferson suggested that states could nullify federal laws outright. He traveled, in one historian's assessment, even farther than Madison down the road to disunion. History has made clear that Jefferson's theory rested on a flawed and deeply flawed premise, because it became a loaded weapon that would rumble through the southern states in the early 1960s as they moved to secede and launch a civil war. But let us not be too hard on Thomas Jefferson when we are guests in his home. We must realize that he was facing a mortal threat. The party in power wanted to shut down free speech in this country at a time when the ink had barely dried on the Bill of Rights. The Alien and Sedition Acts recreated the very tyranny that America had just fought a revolution to escape. In another historian's judgment, Jefferson's assertions were a constitutionally dangerous step, but he faced a desperate situation with alarming implications. Jefferson was not the only friend of liberty who heard the call of action. The first person convicted under the sedition law was a Vermont Republican politician named Matthew Lyon, who had criticized President Adams for his, quote, unbounded thirst for ridiculous pomp. Lyon continued to blast the unpopular law from his jail cell, and within a matter of months, he was reelected in jail to the Congress. In due course, the Americans would have their chance to speak. In 1800, Jefferson won the presidency after a bitterly contested election with Adams, and the provisions of the Alien and Sedition Acts soon expired. For nearly 2.5 centuries, our wonderful national experiment has succeeded, but it almost did not work. On the one hand, the Alien and Sedition Acts stifle the values of free speech we had just proclaimed. On the other hand, the Kentucky and Virginia resolutions subverted our new constitutional procedure, our new constitutional machinery. One side nearly undid the Bill of Rights. The other side nearly undid the Constitution structure. So please, please, never take these wonderful United States of America for granted. We almost didn't make it. When you look at the early years of America's history, it was a near thing, a close thing. There were times when we very nearly didn't come through. But we did. Our experiment succeeded. Our founders worried about trusting mere parchment barriers, words on a page, to tame the vortex of power. Words are important, but they alone would not do the job. Many, many countries have constitutions with flowery words and lofty phrases, but they don't enjoy the liberties that Americans do. Why did our words work? The risk and genius of our system has been to place our vigilance foremost in the American people. And that means you, our new citizens. We welcome you, each and every one of you, to the vanguard of liberty. Stand up, speak out, be counted. We count ourselves lucky to have you as friends and as neighbors and as our fellow countrymen. Oh, happy day.
Thank you, Judge Wilkinson, for such insightful and thought-provoking remarks. I said it last year at this very ceremony. I will say it again this year. I know that the new citizens, their family members, folks who perhaps are here for the first time, won't understand it quite as well when I say that every year that Judge Wilkinson appears, he has a different perspective on this thing called the United States of America. And today's remarks about the importance of the freedom of speech, the importance of the First Amendment, are new and greatly appreciated. Now, as for our new citizens, I know that some of you have been here in the United States for many, many years, and you put off making this decision, going through the process, becoming citizens until this point in your lives. Others of you have traveled a different path, perhaps a very dangerous path, to get to this point in your life today. I know that each of you has a special and unique story to tell. And it truly is a tradition in our court that at all of our naturalization proceedings, we enjoy giving the new citizens the opportunity to share with us something about the road that they've traveled to be to this point in their lives today. Something that may be on their hearts, minds about what being a citizen of the United States means to him or her, or the importance of this thing called citizenship. So as our tradition, I'm going to open the microphone now and give each of our new citizens the opportunity, if any of them wish to do so, to stand, to share, to let us know about how you feel today about our country that we now share together, something that you would have your family and friends know about their support, something that really is on your heart that you believe needs to be said. Who would like to share a word or two with us at this time? It only takes one to get started, and then many others will follow, I assure you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is very important for me because my daughters were born here. My wife became a U.S. citizen last year. I owe a lot of things to this wonderful country. My brother passed away here as well a couple of years ago. So it's very emotional for me today to be sharing with my friends, my co-citizens today. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Yuri Urbanovich. This is classical pronunciation of my name, but usually in America it is Urbanovich. I was born in a faraway country, Republic of Georgia, which at that time was part of the Soviet Union. And I would like to emphasize that American presence in the childhood of my generation was very significant in 1950s. In the streets of my native city, Tbilisi, we kids could see Studebaker trucks, Willys jeeps. It was very hungry times, in my country of origin. And I remember my father used to buy American canned food in flea markets. These were This was surplus from Lend-Lease supplies that the Soviet Union received during the war. Our favorite movie at that time was Sun Valley Serenade with Glenn Miller's orchestra. And there was, young generation has no idea about this movie. There was a very famous melody, pardon me, boy, is that a Chattanooga choo-choo? Yes, yes. And I was thinking maybe one day I would travel to the United States to meet with Americans and to touch American soil, because at that time we lived behind the Iron Curtain. And God heard my prayers. In 1992, I was invited to do research and to teach at UVA. And I was very happy about it, to share my experiences and my knowledge with my beloved UVA students. I've been at UVA for over 2 decades. And last year I was sworn in the city and became citizen of the United States, but I was very disappointed that I was not, sworn in Monticello. It was my long-time dream. However, my wife was sworn in at Monticello. And I decided to ask my colleagues to help me to renew my oath of allegiance. And I'd like to express special gratitude, special thank you to Judge Wilkinson, who actually helped me to renew my oath of allegiance. Now, mission is accomplished. I feel very happy, and I know that every new citizen, despite having a great honor to be a citizen of the United States, has a great responsibility to do for this country whatever we can. And may God bless America, and may God bless Americans.
Hello, fellow citizens. My name is Dmitry Voronin. I would like to elaborate on what my fellow citizens said. This is a beautiful example of keeping your eye on the prize. He said it, day by day. We have to look and we have to know what we're shooting for and keeping at it very persistently. Thank you for being a real-life example. Thank you.
I think this young man has the potential of being a politician. He speaks very, very well. And that's certainly something that any of our new citizens can do. If you feel that there's a problem that needs to be addressed, something that needs to be changed, you can stand for office and do it yourselves. Be part of the solution. The governor talked about the importance of voting, and that is an obligation of citizenship. And each and every one of you, whether a new citizen or old citizen, should heed that admonition. But there are 3 trial judges here on the platform, Judge Moon, Judge Dillon, and myself. When we see you, do you know what we think of? You're potential jurors. And as of today, you can sit as a juror in a proceeding, a civil proceeding, a criminal proceeding, either in federal or state court, and if called upon to do so willingly, with enthusiasm, with the knowledge that you're going to learn something new and participate in something that's very exciting. I look forward to seeing some of you down the road as jurors in our court. Does anyone else have a few words to share before we move on? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, everyone. I know everyone's been through a different path to get here, but for us, my brother and I, we came here in 1999, and this is finally happening. I finished all my school here. I graduated last year. I've been working for 1 year, and I've had so many opportunities in this country, and I don't know that my country of origin could have done the same for me. So I just want to say thank you to the United States for so many opportunities, and I'm so happy to finally be a citizen. I feel like I already belong, but I don't know. We'll see. And I won't forget to vote. Yes.
She's another one, Governor. Watch out. She may have your job before too long. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Marie McAuliffe from Philippines. First of all, I'd like to thank you to all the people who put an effort to make this vote-taking official. And of course, for all of you guys, thank you for coming. It meant really a lot to me because of I have a 10-year-old son. We got here last 2010, and for him to be an American citizen, me and my husband, we've been debating about getting my citizenship. And as well as he's a lawyer, so he's a very political person, and we discussed about how important to vote. And anyway, I'm in medical aesthetic. It means that we correct imperfections, so whoever, wants something to be corrected, just come to me. We really help people to feel more of themselves. We boost their confidence. And but of course, the most important is the inner beauty. All right, thank you. You guys have a great day.
Anyone else? Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. My name's Ghazala Ahmed, and firstly, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody here at Monticello. The staff have been wonderful since morning to make this a really memorable occasion for us. I came from the United Kingdom, so I haven't come from a country where there's been problems, but nevertheless, America is truly a beautiful country. There's the opportunities here in this country are endless if you work hard. It's a very safe country to live in, thanks to our homeland security. And also, everyone is treated equally here. And I'm sure everybody appreciates that. So today, I am humble, and I'm honored to become a U.S. citizen of such a beautiful country. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lisa Marie Gribenau, originally from South Africa. I came here 15 years ago to Mr. Jefferson's University, and now own a piece of my own little heaven right around the corner here. Most importantly, where I live by myself on 8 acres in absolute safety, which is wonderful. I would like to thank the organizers for this wonderful opportunity at this exquisite setting. And most of all, I'd like to thank my friends and my daughter, who is in the Netherlands, for all their support they gave me through this grueling process. We all know what it's like. I am honored. And no, sir, you don't want me in politics.
My name is Henry Ahmad. I've been here 41 years. I've always felt like I've been American, but today I'm proud to be an American. I'd like to thank my family, my wife, Gladys Guzman. She's from Colombia, and my mother-in-law, and my brother-in-law, and my son Mateo. I'm proud that I'll be able to. That's it.
This is scary for me, but I would like to thank Hello? Yeah, I got it. I just would like to share my story. I came in August of 2000, and the very first class that I took was political science on the very first day. So that was in 2000, and today I'm becoming a citizen, and I have learned a lot about the government. Back then, when I was a student, it was just about studying, and obviously there was a lot of partying too, but at the back end, you had the cops who are protecting, you had the teachers who are teaching you, and we were just going with the flow. But then when I came, I started working, you start realizing that it's one job out of every job that's available that I am occupying, and I'm going to make the most out of it. I'm paying taxes all of a sudden, I'm paying bills. And then I became an employer, and now I pay unemployment taxes, and there are several kinds of taxes that you pay. So I have learned so much, and now it makes sense to me that the law that was already there, I was following it. Now I will be able to be a part of it and make decisions and have a vote, have a count. So it makes me feel very happy to be counted. And I would like to also, I'm sure my very first job was an immigration paralegal, and my first boss, William Willie, from Norman, Oklahoma, he'll be very proud of me today to be at this point. And I have met my husband here, and I have had my two beautiful daughters. They're at the back over there, and I thank them and all my friends for their support throughout my journey over here. I'm a very happy person today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tatiana Rodriguez de Ibanez. I came from Panama with my husband. He's an American citizen for 2 weeks. Yeah. We have 3 children here. We came in 2001, and we have 3 children. So we became Americans also for them, for us, for the country. We love to be Americans, and now we have an American family here, and we are very happy that they are our family. Thank you very much. Thank you for this beautiful day, finally.
Yeah.
And this beautiful place. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
I want to thank all of the new citizens who've shared with us this morning, and for that matter, I want to thank those who didn't, because I know that whether you spoke or not, each of you, each and every one of you has very strong emotions about this decision that you've made that's culminated with this ceremony today. You've made a commitment, you've made a change, and it has to be one that is accompanied by a very, very deep feeling. So I thank each and every one of you about your strong feelings concerning your new country, about your strong feelings about being a citizen, about your strong feelings concerning what you're going to do to help your new country be successful. I can't help but note that when we started today, the clouds were covering the mountain, and now the clouds have lifted, the sun is shining through, and that's the way it should be, isn't it? Because I think that the future will be sunny and bright for each of our new citizens, for your families, and I sincerely hope that that proves to be the case. I extend my best wishes to each and every one of our new citizens, their families and friends. I challenge you to make your citizenship count. Vote, as the governor said. Serve on juries. Stand for public office. Be a volunteer in your local communities. Join civic organizations, because each and every one of you is special. Each and every one of you is unique. Each and every one of you has skills and abilities that no one else possesses. So we want you to apply those skills. We want you to use those abilities to help your new country, the United States of America, be the strongest possible nation that it can ever be. I wish you the best of luck in your lives ahead, and again, I congratulate you and thank you on this very special occasion. And I wish all of our friends who've joined us today a very happy 4th of July. Mr. Marshall, you may adjourn court.
All rise. By direction of His Honor, this United States District Court stands adjourned for the day.
And I invite you to remain standing and join us in singing America the Beautiful, led by Shun Yoon.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you, Shun. Please be seated. On behalf of the Thomas Jefferson Foundation, I first and foremost want to congratulate our new citizens and their families on a monumental accomplishment. Well done. I particularly want to thank Governor McAuliffe for his moving words and inspiration to you as you embark on a new journey in this country. Thank you for being with us today, Governor. And I thank you for Dorothy being with us and sharing this Monticello tradition. A special thank you to the Coca-Cola Corporation and the Edward W. and Betty Knight Scripps Foundation for ongoing, continuous, and dedicated support of this ceremony. We also thank the Luck Companies Foundation, whose mission is to ignite human potential around the world. And I especially want to thank Judge Conrad, our judges, and the court, who so generously bring this ceremony to Monticello. For adding immeasurably to the celebration, we thank our friend Steve Lehman and the Charlottesville Municipal Band, Shun Yoon, and the and let's not forget Shun Yoon from the Ashland Opera, and the Thomas Jefferson chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution Color Guard, and the Daughters of the American Revolution. Let's give them all a hand. We also thank our community partners, the Daily Progress, Light Rock Z95.1, 1070 WINA, and Piedmont, Virginia Community College. Where would we be without them? Let's show them all our gratitude. In the spirit of independence, we encourage all citizens, new and old, to do exactly as the governor has said. Exercise your right to vote. The Albemarle County Registrars and League of Women Voters can help you take that first step at the registration table located to your left. Well, here at Monticello, we're driven by our vision of engaging a national and global audience in a dialogue with Jefferson's ideas. And through a dual mission of education and preservation, we strive to keep Jefferson's legacy alive and to ensure that the big ideas of the Declaration remain a part of our national discourse. This ceremony is one way in which we do that. We thank you all for supporting that mission by being here today, visiting throughout the year, making gifts to support ongoing projects, and enjoying our shop. You literally help us hold these truths for all people, for all time. Today's ceremony will conclude with a performance by the Charlottesville Municipal Band under the leadership of Steve Lehman. We hope you'll stay for our Jeffersonian Open House, enjoy Coke floats, children's activities, and patriotic music from the Youth Orchestra of Central Virginia. If you have reserved tickets for the open house, you can pick them up from the ticket tent located next to the voter registration table. Shuttles will be waiting at the location where you were dropped off. And if you need assistance of any kind, our staff are wearing red shirts with the Monticello logo. And can I just a shout out for the Monticello staff and volunteers? We thank you for coming today. We thank you for cheering on our newest citizens. We wish you the happiest of Independence Days. Thank you.